Okay, I've got no flashy intro, no, cinematic hooks or anything for this. I just want to talk to you directly. So I have experienced, years of being depressed, and I know how it feels. I know it feels like you can't escape it, and that how you feel right now is gonna be how you feel forever. But now that I'm on the other side of it, and I'm honestly probably the happiest I've ever been, the most fulfilled I've ever been, I want to help my past self and you by just telling you how I did it. Simple as that. So let's get into it. The first thing I want you to realize is that one of the major issues with your life right now isn't actually your life, it's your perception of your life. And that is because you're seeing your life through the lens of someone who sees themselves as a victim. I know that might be hard to take and hard to hear, but just hear me out, So from my perspective, when I was in these bouts of depression and, feeling bad for myself, my mentality was just saying, it's not fair. Why is it? Why me? Why does my life have to be like this? Everyone else's life is better than mine. You get the gist. You can probably relate to these thoughts. You probably have very similar ones yourself. But the thing is, it wasn't until I started to realize that it was actually this here, my brain, which was causing me to feel so negatively about my reality. And it was because I was choosing to identify and relate to these negative thoughts that I had. Because we all have negative thoughts, but we also have positive thoughts. All it is that when you're in these depressive states, you often give a lot more power and attention to these negative thoughts. So when these thoughts come up of I'm a failure, I'm unlovable, etc., whatever it is, you dwell on these thoughts and you repeat them to yourself. Before you know it, it becomes a mantra, and it becomes a prophecy of who you are. And you start to identify with that, and before you know it, that is who you are. So once I started to feed myself with, information that was helpful to me, that wasn't just entertainment, because I was also addicted to just entertainment, just consuming stuff, dopamine, all that stuff, just constant consumption of entertainment, and it doesn't help at all. Seeing yourself as a victim feels comfortable. It feels like kind of almost safe to be like, okay, it's not my fault I'm like this. It's just the way I am. Everyone else, it's their fault that I'm like this. But as soon as you change that mentality and be like, okay, what am I doing to keep myself, feeling like this? What do I do that makes me feel depressed? And slowly you start to realize that it's your actions each day and the way that you interpret the things that happen in your life that is keeping you down and depressed. Another thing that I would tell my past self is that you are so ungrateful. You wake up every day in a warm house with a roof over your head, food to eat, people to interact with if you want to, yet you decide to just focus on all the things you don't have. And with this mentality that I had, it was impossible for me to feel not just happy, but just to even, really understand the life I was living. Because when you live with, such lack of gratitude and understanding of how privileged you are, you can't help but take everything for granted. You just think that you just deserve things that you haven't worked for. You gotta realize that we as humans, we are so blessed right now. Most of us that live in the West and in the Western civilization, we are, whether you like it or not, we have a higher quality of life than 99% of recorded history. Yeah, if you decide to just focus on what you don't have, you're never going to be happy, ever. Even if you reach that goal that you think that would make you happy, if you have this mentality of only focusing on what you don't have, even when you have that, you won't be happy. Or you'll be chasing something else, chasing validation from others, chasing acceptance from people, chasing, things that don't even actually matter, chasing status. So you got to realize that being grateful is powerful and it will change your life. Another thing that I wish I understood earlier was that I needed to learn how to control and understand my emotions. I think as men, especially men in today's society, we are almost expected to know how to understand our emotions, yet we're kind of raised in a way where our emotions aren't really considered, really. We're still expected to just, suck it up, be a man, etc., etc. When we get to a certain age, we're expected to just know how to express our emotions in a healthy way. And this is something that I'm really happy that I've learned, through trial and error, to be honest. I got it wrong for a long time. I think a lot of us as men, the only emotion that we know how to show is anger. And when you get into these routes of, feeling down and feeling depressed, anger is the only emotion that you go to because it feels easy to reach, just right there. Instead of, being able to be vulnerable, the people that you care about, the people in your life, and ask for help, our first thing is just to get angry about it. And we don't even just get angry about the situation, we get angry about ourselves. We get angry that we can't do what we expect ourselves to do. We get angry that we're not living up to these expectations that others have put onto us. So being able to really understand and control your emotions is something that is so powerful. And the way that I've done this in my life is that I've literally read books. I've read the book Master Your Emotions, for one, that really helped. And I've done things like meditate, I've started meditating. That's really helped me understand my thoughts and my emotions. And the biggest advice I can give is just take it slow. When you do feel these emotions coming, you have to understand that you're not your emotions. You're just experiencing them. Like, they are not you. Like, you as a vessel, you're literally just a vessel. Like, things can come and go. You don't have to identify with these things that come into play in your life. And lastly, and most importantly, you need to get out of your head and act. When you're feeling low and in these states of just, low energy and low mood, it's so easy to just get caught up in your thoughts and just keep going around the same thought patterns over and over again, basically like torturing yourself. And what you have to realize is that it's not going to help you. It is not going to help you at all. Getting obsessed with all these thoughts in your head and battling yourself, you're actually not making any progress. You're not going anywhere. You're being stagnant. So what you have to do is get out of your head, choose the direction to go into, and just go. Honestly, just go. That's the best advice I can give you. Just pick something and put 100% into it, and make sure it's something that you care about, something that you want to do, something that you can see a future in. Don't just do what people tell you to do. Don't just do what your parents tell you to do. If that's not something that you want to do, if that's not something that really excites your spirit and gets you excited about, then find that thing in your life. Find that thing that you can commit to, and just commit to it. Probably went on a little bit longer than I wanted to there, but hopefully that has helped you have a bit more of a clear mind right now, because I know you're probably feeling a bit overwhelmed, maybe overstimulated as well. And I just hope this video has made you have a bit more hope, because the truth is, where you're feeling right now is not permanent. We can change. That's one of the superpowers of humans. We're able to change and evolve, and I hope you can experience that firsthand. Okay, I'll speak to you later, bro. See you in a bit.
Are you seriously watching Pierce all by yourself again? Well, you might as well subscribe then.